All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me again, and thank you for being here. Today, we're going to talk about the last module, which is module 7, which is about the bonus, and I call it honorable mentions because these things are little or something that you just need to be aware of if you really wanted to use it. But I really believe deeply that everything that I've shared with you is the best thing that you will, is the best practice that I do myself, and I think you will be able to find the same kind of success or the same kind of confidence to approach any product. So that's why I left this at the end, because I don't want you to mix yourself, especially when we are in an environment where a lot of people, a lot of teachers or gurus or anybody out there, a lot of methods, and I think really mess with your head, and you always think that you're missing out on something. Honestly, I'm a big believer of basics. I did everything that you have been doing. I went and I looked into multiple ways of launching products. I did everything, mixed up everything, and actually was a very bad idea to do it because there was so much information. There were so many things that you need to do at the same time that you cannot perfect. And I think Amazon is a system by itself that can hold itself by itself. And I don't need to go ahead and hire someone else from other platforms or get other influencers to get into it only for specific situations. So that's been said. Let's get to it, and let's talk about the first thing, how to remove negative seller feedback. If you know, seller feedback is basically a review on a seller. So it's a feedback on you as how you perform as a seller, how you display your product, how, if you're doing FBM, how fast you ship the product, what condition the product is in. This is all reflect on you because you are the one who shipped those products, and anything defect within the stuff that you're responsible in. Not the same as a product review, which is a product review is based on a product itself and is not based on your performance as a seller. So when you get seller feedback, it's very easy or relatively easy to remove comparing to a product review. Product review, it's almost impossible to get the reviews out. Maybe you get lucky here and there, or you hear in the Facebook groups, some people, they get them out, they get one review off. Yes, you can, but the percent is 1%, I think, the chance for you to get it, or let's be a little bit realistic, maybe 5% if you're really, really lucky. But I don't see it as it's very hard for you to get rid of them. Now, so let's see if we get a bad seller feedback, and seller feedback can be removed if it's completely about the product. If this review or the seller feedback you get is about the product, not about you. If it contains obscenities, so no good. So if you have anything that mess with your ratio or something that bad or doesn't make sense, you can remove it. And actually, this is one of the ways, I'm not going to get into it too much, but if you have a bad review on a product base, you actually can use answers, replies to that specific comment or review by saying something very slur or something bad, and you'll be able to get the chances of you removing this review will be higher. But that's chances and only one of the ways. But now we're talking about seller feedback. The other thing, it contains any kind of financial or identifying information. So that's one of the things that, they talk about numbers, they talk about the money. If they have information about you, maybe loud, I think you can be able to remove them. It's very easy to remove seller feedback, to be honest with you. It has complaints about delivery, late shipment, or packaging. Amazon will not remove it, but will strike through the comment and take responsibility for the issues if the item is FBA. This happens a lot, especially if a product is not delivered on time, or the package was damaged, or was a late shipment, or it's been late, whatever it is, Amazon takes care of it. We'll have a cross through, and you'll be good to go. Now, how to remove them is very easy and simple. You go to your, I think, performance, then feedback. Then you find the feedback that you have. And if you see here, for example, I have 4, and we have a request next to it. There's a drop-down menu. You drop it, the request removal. Then you go through the process. It's 2 clicks, and you'll be done. They will tell you if you're allowed or not. Seller feedback is very easy to get off. So I don't think it's a big issue, but it's very good for you to maintain a good seller feedback, because that's going to reflect on relationship that you have with Amazon and how good of a seller you are, especially if you open up cases and the customer or the buyer is at fault. is actually going to help them, because they're going to look at those metrics. They're going to look at your performance, how much units you have, how much inventory, and all this stuff is going to play a factor in your product or in your relationship with Amazon, especially when you get also in gating, all this stuff. It's really, really helpful. Now, the ones that I remove, anything below three and lower, I will remove that. Feedback. Anything 4 or 5, I will keep. Even 3 is a neutral. It's up to you. If it's something really bad in it, I'll remove it. But if it's something that, hey, I like it, but I wish it had this, and it still gave me 3, I might keep it if it doesn't really reflect a lot on me, or it's really good things, but still the rating is different. Like, for example, yesterday I got a review of someone says, I love the product, it's amazing, it's the best I've ever had, but they still gave me 4 stars. The same thing as a 3 stars. I'm going to keep it. Still good things in it. But hey, it is what it is. Now, let's talk about hijackers and what a hijacker is. So we finished about seller feedback. How we remove it is very easy. 2 steps. You go to the performance, you go in the back end, choose, and you remove a request removal, and you'll be good to go. Now, hijackers is basically someone jumping on your listing and selling the product, your product, or similar to your product, or pretending to sell your product that not being authorized by you. That's called a hijacker. It's only happens mostly in private label. If you have wholesale retail arbitrage, it doesn't reflect that on hijacker, because it's not a hijacker. If I come in, sell the same product from a big brand, and I'm authorized to sell it because of first doctrine, I'm good to go. So it has nothing to do with it. But this hijacker only for private labelers that you didn't allow them or didn't authorize them to sell it. So how you remove them? First, you're going to see, you have to do a few things. Okay. So first of all, you're going to see how many units they are selling, since they may be selling a gift or purchase something outside of the return window, or they purchase at a discount and are reselling. So a lot of times it happens when we do rebate key, we do Manny chat, we give products away. What's going to happen is actually those people who's going to get the product, some of them will sell the product on Amazon on your listing. So if I see someone has 1 unit, I would just let them sell it. If I have the sales through rate, if I'm selling very well, sales velocity is good, hey, who cares? Let them sell it. It's good to go. But if they have a lot, that's the only way I'm going to worry. Okay. And there's multiple ways you can deal with it, which is going to cover. If they only have few units, you can buy them. So that's one of the things. If I have 1, I'll let them sell it. I'm good to go. But if they have few of them, I have an option to go ahead and buy them all and just keep them with me, and that's it. So I don't let them sell it, because you don't know what kind of condition they're going to sell the product at, and you don't want to get a bad review because of it. Okay, so that's why maybe you take the chance of buying that from them. It's actually, there's some friends of mine, if they get hijackers and like this hijacker has, I don't know, 500 units or whatever it is, they buy the whole thing, and they sell everything they have, and then basically give it back, or return it, or request a return. They also can do stuff that really black hat. They will damage the product on purpose to send it back to them, so they cannot sell it. If you are a hijacker, I think you deserve what you get. I'm not saying ethically right or wrong. This is something up to you. I don't do it myself. I will always do the test buy, but it is what it is. First thing you're going to do is you're going to send a cease and desist letter. And we have the template here, which is going to be available to you below that video. And you're going to have a really simple letter that you're going to send to them. You're going to add your company name, and you're going to basically send them that letter. It's very easy. You're going to change where brand name is. I mean, we made it very easy for you guys just to change it. And that should do it for you. Okay. Now, a lot of times sometimes they're not going to listen, and sometimes within 1 day or 2 days you'll see them, they're just out of it. They'll be basically out of your listing. Now, notify Amazon if you're enrolled in brand registry. They are more responsive. Now, brand registry is not going to prevent you or prevent hijackers from hijacking your product, but it's going to give you an easier path of removing them. So you'll be able to communicate that through the brand registry itself in the back end. You'll be able to do it. If you needed something about that, or if you're a brand registry, you don't know where's that place, please just leave a comment in the Facebook group, and I'll be able to do one for you. but usually it's very easy just to apply for cease and desist or complain about a hijacker. And if you have brand registry, that's really going to help you. But it's not guaranteed you're going to be removed. I had a hijacker on my listing, even brand registry, for 3 weeks, and actually brand registry did nothing to me. But hey, it might help you to say you're trademarked. Do a test buy to see if the product is the same. If you see the buyer or the hijacker never respond to your cease and desist letter, the only thing you're going to do, and usually they have it FBM, the only thing you can do is basically order a product from them. So let a friend of yours, usually my friend is going to be Nancy. Nancy, hey Nancy, do you mind if you just buy the product? She buys the product, get the product. I will see the differences with my product. Usually it's going to be completely different product, or it's going to be white label with no logos, nothing with it. And once I get that, I will show that to Amazon, and Amazon will remove the hijacker from my listing very quickly. If the product is different, file an IP complaint. You can do that. File an IP complaint with Amazon. But honestly, I think this is the last steps. But usually, if you do test buy, they will be gone. But if you're really, really, really bad, then you can do IP complaint if they stuck there for a long time. Look, that's why I say differentiation, adding bundling and doing something different, adding packaging, adding something to the product as a bundle is going to remove a lot of hijackers, because hijackers, they're looking for a quick buck. They're not looking for, hey, I'm going to build a product, make the same bundle, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to hijack something. No, they want simple product with high sales velocity, very easy for them to buy from AliExpress and hijack your product. Now, there is some places out there, I'm not going to mention them, but they will be able to remove a hijacker for you for a specific fee, okay? But I think you can do it yourself, because removing a hijacker is going to cost from $250 to $500 if they're really, really, really on your bum, okay? Now, that's a subject that I get the most, how to open multiple Amazon accounts to mitigate the risk of suspensions. Now, there's multiple reasons for you to open an account. There is some ways basically to open an account for multiple reasons. One of the reasons could be because you want to use it for black hats. So there's some people out there that they can buy a second account. They will launch the product on the second account. They'll be able to do some kind of review manipulation through that account. And once they get the reviews and once they get everything they need, then they remove the same product to their main product, and they will start selling it on the main account. So that's one of the things why you use it. I'm not expecting to use it for bad things, but I'm just telling you what's out there and why they do it. The other thing, which is the legitimate way of opening a second account, or why you should open a second account if you decided, if you have a different brand. If I have a brand, let's say in toys, then I want to build a brand in home and kitchen, I'd rather they have their own brands and also they have their own separate accounts. Now, it doesn't mean that you cannot sell the same two different brands under the same account, but if your purpose of the whole business having a big exit strategy, I think it's much easier for you to open a second account. The first one that you build the product in, you want to sell it, you can sell the whole account, easier for accounting, easier for transferring the whole product to the new buyer and all this stuff. It makes it just much, much easier for you if you have an exit strategy. But if you don't, you want to keep that business for yourself, and you don't mind having 2 or 3 brands under the same account, you should be good to go if you're, if you think you're not going to get suspended or nothing is going to happen to you. There's a big chance on Amazon, anything could happen. Okay, and Amazon doesn't care if you have a big account, small account, medium account, they don't care. If there's something happens, everything is automated and good to go. But let's say if you want to open a second account. Opening a second seller account is allowed if you take the time to request it from Amazon and ask for approval first. The easier way to do it, honestly, just basically you're going to contact Amazon. You're going to send them an email, hey, I'm interested in a second account. They're going to ask you why. It could be because you tell them I want to have a different brand. It's going to have its own finances. It's going to have its own accounting, its own bank information. Easier for us to track. You'll be able to do that. Or if you have a wife or a husband at home that you would like to get another account for them and you want to get a permission, they will allow you to do that, but they want to ask you multiple questions, and there's a specific letter or template that you need to send to them to request for a second account. Look, if you do it through them, is much easier, more legitimate, more legit, and everything is good. The only risk, and I'm not sure about it 100%, but the only risk that I see, if the first account gets suspended, the second account could get suspended as well. That's why you see a lot of people buy a different account and they're not associated with it, or from their friends or whatever it is. So if this one gets suspended, the second one doesn't get suspended. Now, I have some people who said, I don't know how the truth of it. I have people who told me, oh, no, actually, it doesn't work this way. If you get suspended, the second one doesn't get suspended. And I have some people who are really high sellers. They told me, yes, it does. So who's right? I'm not sure, but I'm just telling you what's out there, okay? Now, the following email templates have worked well, but Amazon can be inconsistent with the policies, so it may take more than one try. As I think, guys, now, if anybody who's selling on Amazon for 6 months or 1 year, they know that the first attempt usually doesn't work. You need to go back and forth with them multiple times, repeat yourself multiple times. It's just crazy, crazy, crazy. I think the biggest downfall of Amazon is their customer service. It's garbage. It's not consistent. They don't give you enough information. And that's why lawyers are making a lot of money, because they have people in the back end to tell them exactly what's the issue with your account. And then they will suck the life out of you with all this $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 fees just to be able to get you back on. That's the truth. And honestly, this is the only thing I see in Amazon is garbage, honestly. And I'm very fed up with it. I mean, that's what gets me fed up of everything. Like every day there's something, okay? And maybe I'm talking like this now, negative Susie here, because I have two listing already being suppressed, and I don't know what the hell they want from me. But it shit happens. Now, it can take up to 2 to 6 weeks for it to get approved, so you need to give it time. Don't think it's going to be overnight. And the template is going to be, there's 2 templates you're going to be able to use. You have one like this, okay? Now, I just want to make sure a claim. There's one of them that we are done, and there's another template that I actually took from a group that I used to be in. And is a good one. Is actually a friend of mine who gave it to me, was in that group, gave it to me, so I wanted to share it with you. So I just want to make sure I put that out there. I don't want people to, tell me crap, because I don't have time for crap. Now, once Amazon approves your request, you will need the following. You need a new business name. You don't technically have to have it registered yet. Just use something different. Any business name if you want, but I think it should be registered. A new check-in account. It can be the same as your other link to other account, or they will reject it. So it cannot be the same. If you have the same bank account, do not use it for the second account that you would like to get. Get completely different one. So completely different check-in account. Everything has to be different. Okay, everything has to be different. Nothing the same. Even Amazon doesn't want you to have a second account, because they don't want you to sell the same product in 2 accounts. Because imagine if I can open 6 accounts and have the same product and I sell it in each account, and then I can do PPC as well from 6 platforms or 6 accounts. I can dominate each category very easily. So that's why they don't want you to do it, and that's why they're very pain in the ass to make sure that if you know the criteria of opening a new account, you cannot sell the same product on 2 different accounts. So make sure it's a new checking account, a new business name, a new credit card. They will reject it if the same. Your credit card company can issue a new employee card. So if you want an employee card, you can ask them. You guys in the States, you'll be able to manipulate that very easily. They give you credit cards. It's like giving candy. But you'll be able to get credit card, new checking account, and all the stuff that you need. And also new LLC, which is, I recommend having a new entity. This is a new entity with a new name, get the new checking account, new credit card or business account, whatever you want, everything associated to the new LLC entity. Because if you want to sell the account, you have to sell the entity with it. Now, this is about second seller account. This is the legitimate way. Now, there is some kind of illegal, not illegal, black hat ways of getting a new account. Basically do the same thing, get a new business account, a new LLC, a new checking account, new credit card, all this, everything different. And then you go to a library, you sit there or anywhere else, I don't know, coffee shop with different IP address, you open a Seller Central account. And once you get home, you need to have a new computer, you need to have a new internet connection with different companies, so it has a different IP address and everything dedicated to it. You can do that. But Amazon becoming very sophisticated about how to be able to track you and find you. And any small mistake you do, just by mistake, you want to log in into your main account on the second computer, or your internet switch from the first one to the second one, you could be in a big trouble, okay? So it's a way you can do it, but I don't recommend it. There's a third way of doing it, which is basically buying an existing account. If you have a friend of yours, and I believe there's going to be a wave of people who are not going to start selling on Amazon, or they're going to quit the business because this business is not easy. There's a lot in it. So if you see someone in the Facebook group wants to sell the business, then you'll be able to buy it from them and have the same thing: new business account, new checking account, new credit card, new LLC, or also maybe even you need to speak to an attorney who specializes in accounts that will be able to tell you if there's anything wrong with that specific account, if they owe any taxes or anything of that nature. Okay, and that's how it is. For me, I think if you want to do it legit, just ask for it. Ask for it is the best way. The second way is going to be you buy it from someone else. And the third way, which is very black way, I wouldn't do it. Even though I did it in the past, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't recommend it, but I'm just telling you what's out there. If you hear it from somewhere else out there, I'm telling you, just be careful. Okay, just be careful and just know that you have a chance of getting caught. Other thing, I have a friend of mine who is a friend of mine from a long time. We're not, I mean, a friend. When I say a friend, it's not like buddies, but you know what I mean. It's like, I know him, acquainted. Is actually, he had, I went to his house and I saw his computer. He had, I swear to you, I'm not kidding you, minimum of 24 servers that he built for over $100,000 to be able to have the same screen, the same computer with different servers in the desktop. And he was able to switch from one account to another. This is where the Chinese way of opening accounts, okay? But I'm just telling you what's out there, but it's for you to decide. You're a big woman, a big boy, and you'll be able to make your own decision whether it's good or bad. And I'm telling you, I don't always make the good decisions. Sometimes I do even black hat, so I'm just letting you know. So I'm not a saint. All right, how to source your Amazon customer service. I think virtual assistant, it's something that you need to look into later on. I don't think you need it if you're not making over $1 million, or you don't have someone who's helping you, or you have your wife or your husband. Usually you're gonna start with the people who you know. So it's gonna be your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend first, or your partner. That will help you without a VA. Like us, we used to have a VA. Honestly, it was just too much work, too much talk, a lot of back and forth, and nothing was getting done. Part of it from our side, we didn't exactly know what we want to give her as tasks. The second thing is my wife became full-time with me, and she handles most of the stuff that I don't like to handle, that's why when a lot of times you ask me about, hey, how to create the listing or how to contact Amazon, all the stuff is all Megan, okay? It's all Megan, okay? I just stopped looking into it. But let's say you want to hire a virtual assistant. I'm just going to give you a little bit of how you do it. Where to hire a VA? You have Upwork. You can hire people Upwork per hour. You can do a deal with them, part-time, full-time, 20 hours a month, 15, 10 hours, whatever it is, the task that you want. You can tell them the wages that you need, how many hours, what kind of skills, and all this stuff. You can do it through Upwork. Then you have Fiverr, which is I don't recommend. With all due respect for everybody, you're gonna find a lot of people who doesn't speak English, and they promise things that they cannot deliver. And I think anybody who works with Fiverr understand what I mean. It's a lower paid platform. You're not gonna have the best talent. And at the same time, they tell you they know what they do, but they don't know what they're doing. Okay, we have photographer, we have designers from there, but it's hell to get things done. Okay, but I'm just letting you. Upwork is much better than Fiverr. The other thing you can do is www.onlinejobs.ph. It's another place for you to hire assistant from Philippines, which is really great. We had multiple of them for when we used to have the course for RA, retail online arbitrage. We used to have some VAs. We had actually 4 of them to be able to create lead lists for us. Okay, but you have to pay $100, I believe, to sign in into that website to be able to get access to those people and be able to communicate with them. Now, outsource the tasks that keep you from moving forward with executive tasks. This is 100% true. I don't think you should be the person who does everything. I think you should be working on your business, not in your business. A lot of us as entrepreneurs, we become very, very, hey, I want to do it myself. Nobody can do it better than me. I'm guilty of that myself. First few months when I worked with my wife was almost divorced because I don't know what I was doing. Okay, because I always say it's not right. It's not right. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. That was my biggest thing. I used to say wrong, wrong, wrong. Like everyone is wrong except me. I am the master of shit. Bad ways. I learned from it. You can learn from everybody. And the only thing I did was wrong is that I didn't give the right direction to the person. What I expect from them, what kind of tasks they have, and if you micromanage those people, whether, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not micromanage my wife, but I'm just saying if there's a task I can help with, if she doesn't understand like how to do keywords, I can help her with that, micromanage a bit to see where mistakes happen, do kind of audit from time to time to say if everything is correct. And once you see that they're really good at their job, give them the freedom to do whatever they want. You'll be happy, they'll be happy, and they don't want to be in back of their head all the time. I learned that to micromanage in the beginning a bit, and then just give them everything and let them do it, because the trust will be there. I'm not telling you I don't trust my wife. I trust my wife a lot. I mean, I wouldn't be working with her, but I'm just telling you, there's a lot of tasks that are very technical that I had to be there to make sure that it does it right, because there's clients, there's people who they're not going to know it's my wife did it or anything. It's going to come to me. As me, I'm the one who's leading this specific task or this specific service. Okay, so always give them a lot of information and micromanage until you trust. Outsource one task that you know very well at a time to make sure there's no confusion. Yes, I remember when I did it, I just throw everything at them. I thought they understood everything I do. Oh, do product research, do sourcing, do this, do that. Hey, all this I want at the same time. Do not do that. Do it gradually. What's the most task or tedious task that takes the most of time from your day that can be done by someone else with a lower cost? So give one task at a time. If you do product research, teach them about product research and let them do product research for a month. Once they perfect it according to what you need, then jump to the next task, then the third task, fourth task, fifth task, until they become well-rounded martial artists, whatever job they do. So do it one at a time. Do not give them all information. Trust me, they will mess up. If it took me 2, 3, 4, 5 years to learn the crap that I understand, how you expect someone to do it within 2 weeks or a month? It's impossible. So you need to be looking from their own end as well. Add a new task one at a time. We said that. Make your expectation known. So your expectations has to be on point. Okay. What do you expect? How many hours per day or per week you're expecting to get them? So that's something that you have to sit down and say the task that you don't like to do and how many hours you expect that job is going to take, and how many times a month or per week you're going to ask them for that specific job. Because maybe now you're backlogged with a lot of work, but when you have maybe 1 month or 2 weeks worth of job and then you have nothing, what are you going to do? You're going to fire them? You cannot fire, I mean, you can fire them. You can fire whoever you want, but the skills that you taught them now is all wasted. So you need to make sure that you have multiple things in your mind, and at the same time, what kind of expectations you're expecting from them and how many hours they go into work. Work hours in each time zone, which is going to be tedious. If you have people from Philippines, you have people from whatever country, you have to know the time zone difference. And that's where you're going to actually need to use something like Trello. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, Trello. It's a software management software that you can have the tasks, someone can work on it, and the day after you can check, hey, if it's been done or not, and you'll be able to communicate between you, the VAs, and anybody who's get access to that. When should both parties be available to communicate? You need to make sure that there's a time that's convenient for both of you, that you can talk and communicate, especially if there's something that you really urgent, by text is not enough. You need to have 30 minutes, 15 minutes talk with them. So make sure that both of you be able to do that. Holidays, you need to understand not all the holidays are only in the US. If you do people from Philippines, maybe they have their own national holidays. They have their own holidays in different times. The same thing in China. Now from 1st of October until the 8th, they have their national holiday. So don't expect the same time zone, and you need to give them those holidays as a freebie or time. You see a lot of people from Pakistan that also work with designers that actually they have Eid. I have Eid myself, but I don't know, I'm going to hell as a psychologist. Them, they practice it, so why not? Me, 2
Eids.
2 Eids, yes, 2 Eids, and you need to make sure that they're really good, their holidays. Communicate that, write it down, Google it to make sure that, give them that day off or whatever it is. For me, I would pay them for the holiday, honestly, just to build a relationship. And I think anybody who works with me, they know I'm generous with what I do, and I respect their time. Just tell me, hey, this is the day I cannot work. I'm good to go. I don't remember myself because I expect everyone to work every day, but I don't take it personally. Wages, be very careful with wages. Don't be shy to be precise with your wages, with your own limits. And if you hire someone from Philippines, it's not going to be the same thing in the US. Minimum wage, I don't know, $10, $15 or $9, whatever it is. And when you get people from Philippines, it's normal for you to pay them $2 an hour, $3 an hour. So that's how it is. You actually do not feel guilty. I remember I used to feel guilty when, hey, $2 to $3, but actually for their own living at their own country, it really makes a lot of sense and a lot of money for them. So yes, it's going to be $2, $3 per hour, and it is what it is. Quality, a lot of cultures are different, especially when you work with Filipinos, with Chinese, or whatever it is you do. The quality, even from Pakistan and India, they will promise you the world, but they do shit. They don't know what they're doing. Yes, sir, I can do it, and then the quality is crap. Okay, so they like to say yes because they don't want to disappoint you. They want to keep the job, but the quality not to your standards. So do not be shy to point out the quality and what you expect from them, and what exactly kind of quality or standards you set up for your own images, or for your own product research, or for your company. And so there's standards, has to be set up. For example, when we do our images, I am so pain in the bum that if it's not done the way I want it, I get to repeat it again and again, review until they get it done. But after a few times, they will learn exactly what you want, and they will be able to deliver. So be patient at the beginning, but later on will come up. How you want tasks presented: shared folder, face-to-face meeting. So if you have a specific, like if you're doing product research, hey, I want Google Sheet to be shared between us, and I'll be able to look at your progress or your work that you have done. And or if there's something that's very important that you need to meet with them, you want to go over, for example, they're doing product research with some search volume keywords, and they put a lot of things, and you're not understanding it, maybe you need to meet with them, go ahead and do it. Just make sure both of you are available, and there is tasks that you need to meet them. Like, for example, I told you, and the videos, any video that I have, for example, for product research, I'm going to use it for our next VA. If I really want to expand even more, I'll be able to, hey, listen, this is the video, watch it. If you have any questions, let's meet up for half an hour or an hour, whatever you need to be able to go through that specific part. And I'll use it on my SOPs, and done. And actually, VAs are very, very useful, especially if you want to write SOPs, standard operation procedures, which is very important for your company, especially for evaluation. But hey, it is what it is. Language proficiency, written and spoken. Make sure that they speak good English or good English or whatever the language you speak. Most of us going to be English. Make sure that they write and they speak it, not only speak. Now, do not expect them to speak proper English just like me and Nancy, but make sure you can understand them. For sure, they're not going to speak 100% English. They're not living in the States or England for them to be 100% in their English. Just make sure it's functional. You'll be able to understand them. Okay, and when they're right, make sure it's good. You don't want to be she, he, and messed up they with, I don't know, she are, he, he are, and we is, and we're not talking about slang language, but we're not in rap music. We're in real, business. So I hope they can speak understandable English or understandable written English. And actually, written is very easy, especially if we take Nancy's tip about Grammarly, they'll be able to do something good job. So they have no excuse. So this is about VAs. I hope that was helpful. There's multiple tasks. Let me just talk about the tasks that you can help your VA can help you with: product research, sourcing product for you. If you want to communicate, for them to communicate with Chinese suppliers, you tell them how to look for suppliers, how you communicate with them. They can have all the communication for each supplier, each manufacturer, and what's their prices, whatever template that you have. If you want them to validate the product for you, they can do that. If you want them to write an SOP of something that they can watch and then translate it into a doc, you can do that. If you want someone to generate some leads for you, if you want someone to post some images or pictures in your Instagram, Facebook group, there's a lot of things you can do with VAs. Just remember, if they don't know it, you have to teach them. And if they know it, you're good to go. And this is something that you can search yourself. Hey, I want a VA who knows this, or familiar with this, and this. You're not going to find them to know everything. But if they do 50, 60% of the jobs that you want and then teach them the rest, the 40%, why not? That's really cool. So this is about VAs. Now, let's talk about influencers, especially if you're going to get influencers, micro-influencers, or influencer marketing, which is, we hear a lot about that. Influencer marketing is a form of social media marketing involving endorsement, product placement from influencers, people and organizations who have expert level of knowledge or social influence in their field. This is something you can do, especially before. We used to do it a lot, especially if you're doing drop shipping, if you're doing, hey, you want a product review for your product, you want to get some kind of traffic coming from Instagram or YouTube to your own product, you'll be able to hire influencer through Instagram or YouTube that specialize in your kind of product. If you're doing electronics, their channel is dedicated for electronics. If you do something that's related to moms, that's influencer, it's related to mom. If someone from about Amazon, like me, you can come to me for Amazon stuff and stuff like that that's related to your niche, that they can help you to bring traffic to them, bring traffic to your own product. Okay, and at the same time, they're gonna have content to create. Like a lot of content creators, especially in YouTube, Instagram, don't remember, they need content. They need to give some giveaways. They need to do some kind of contest with their own fan base. So all that is gonna be win-win, but they will charge you for it 100%. Now, how to choose an influencer? Has to be the same niche, so it has to be similar niche to yours. Audience demographics, so you need to make sure that those people, the same kind of boys, girls, same kind of age, the age that you're trying to target, maybe the same kind of countries that you're trying to target in the US or UK or Australia, whatever it is, has to be similar to the one that you're trying to target. And you can find this information in a brand analytics, or if you're selling a product for babies or kids, you know exactly who you're selling to. You're not going to buy a product, you don't know who your target is, who your who your audience is. You will be able to know that, and you want to make sure it's similar to the one that you're trying to hire. Audience psychographics.
Psychographics, it's more about in their mind, how they think. And that's really what it is. It's how people
same kind of appeal. Like, yeah, they have the same kind of personality, the same kind of thinking of how to approach a product. Because don't forget, your product is going to have its own feelings, its own audience, and the same kind of, like if you're selling something in sports, athletics, it's going to be more energetic, guys who are muscular, a guy who's doing very active. Now let's talk about number of followers. If you're doing in the beginning, if you're finding anybody who you want to hire, I don't think you should aim for the sky right away. Do not go ahead and hire me, Kim Kardashian, or someone who has 100,000 followers, 200, a million. They're gonna ask for too much money. They're throwing at them a lot of big companies are throwing a lot of money to those people. They're not gonna work with people who are not high up there, or not going to pay enough, or not going to have enough inventory to fulfill the orders. So I recommend that you do something within 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 followers. Start with that, and then you go higher. And understand there's a cost associated with that. Now, if you go to anybody who has over 10,000 subscribers, they're going to think they are the next Kim Kardashian. Okay, they can ask for the world. They can ask for so much shit. You don't want that. You want people who are really still small. Still, they will charge you maybe $75, $100, $200 for posts, and you'll be good to go. I highly recommend if you do something through YouTube. I think it's better than Instagram. YouTube, a video will stay there, will be forever, and you'll be able to get more value of it. Okay, so I think YouTube is much better. It's evergreen content, and if you can direct them exactly what you want. Do you want unboxing? Do you want review? Whatever it is you want, you can be able to do it. So the cost is going to be crucial, and I don't think you should spend more than $250 or $400 maybe at max in the beginning to see what kind of conversion, what kind of sales, what kind of traffic coming in, because you don't want empty traffic as well. You don't want traffic coming into your listing and nobody's buying. That's going to hurt your click-through rate. It's going to hurt your conversion, all the stuff. So make sure they really have loyal fans. Compatibility with your brand, as I said, has to be the same kind of niche, the same kind of field, what you stand for. You don't want to go ahead, for example, I go ahead and do a commercial tomorrow with Grant Cardone, or with, what's his name, the other guy from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful. Those people, they sell their soul for $1.
Everyone's doing Kevin O'Leary now.
Kevin O'Leary, everyone's doing him because it's cheap. It's cheap, $50, yeah. $100. I mean, whatever, 200, 1,500.
It's meaningless. It's worthless.
Okay,
yeah.
So if you know they have a bad name, do you really want to associate yourself with this kind of people, even if they're successful in their own niche? But now we hear a lot of things are coming out about them. Now, what to negotiate? The method in which the product will be promoted on social media. Is it going to be text? Is it going to be video? Is it going to be an image? Especially when you do Instagram, a lot of them, they're going to ask you, hey, is it going to be a text? Is it going to be a photo with it? Is it going to be a post once per week, twice per week, 3 times per week? Whatever communication you have with them, whatever you want. When the product will be promoted, what's the date exactly? Is it going to do it in the weekend? Are you going to do it in during the week? Whatever spike that you need, you'll be able to time it. Why not? Hey, maybe I want my post to be good on Prime Day. Maybe I want it to be in Thanksgiving. Whatever it is, the thing that you want to make sure that you really detail that. And also why the date is very important, because usually when you hire, especially in Instagram, you will hire multiple people. You will hire like 2 or 3 influencers, and you alternate between them, because you don't want to exhaust those fan base, and they see the same post over and over, they stop buying. So you need to give them a break and alternate between one influencer to another to make sure that the fan base for that specific influencer doesn't get saturated with your product and they're just gonna hate it. Trust me, people just hate it when you see the same picture over and over. On what social media platform will it be promoted? So if someone has multiple social media platforms, maybe they do Instagram, YouTube, whatever, you choose whatever you want. I think YouTube is very good, honestly. I like it because evergreen. Social media for Instagram, we did for drop shipping, was doing well, but gets old very easily. So use it carefully. Instagram, it's really huge. I'm not telling you you're not going to make money with Instagram. Yes, you will. But try them. You need to try and see your product and see which one performs the best if you decided to do them. How many times will the product be promoted for the price? So if you negotiate a price, you need to ask that how many times, and the cost and the compensation. So how much they will charge you, and also what's in the return they're expecting. A lot of times they expect you to pay and also give them, for example, 5 units, one of them to open up for them for review, and the 4 they will run a contest to give to their own platform. So decide about that. I don't think it should be okay. You can negotiate one more thing here. You can negotiate that you can give them the URL where you can build your email list. So if you have Zone pages or you have any platform that you can collect emails, you better, hey, listen, can I give you you can try. Usually they're going to say no, sometimes say yes, some say no. Say, hey, do you mind if I give you my link? So basically go through your special link, they opt in. Once they opt in, then they go to Amazon, and you'll be able to capture these emails from this audience, and you'll be able to use them later on. Now, if they're beginner, some of them, they say yes because they don't know what the hell is happening. But if they're have enough subscribers and they have good amount of subscribers and they're been there for years, they'll understand, hey, no, sorry, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get my emails of my own subscribers. Okay. But it is what it is. And that's it. This is only for today, guys.